Welcome to Beyond the Page, the official podcast of Choice, the magazine of professional coaching, where we bring you amazing insights and in-depth features you just won't find anywhere else. I'm your host, Gary Schleifer, and I'm excited to expand your learning as we dive into this article, have a chat with this brilliant author, and uncover the learnings that are transforming the coaching world. When you have a chance, join our vibrant community of coaching professionals as we explore groundbreaking ideas, share expert tips and techniques, and most importantly, what we all coaches want, make a real difference in our clients' lives. It's your go-to resource about all things coaching, but for now, let's dive into our podcast. In today's episode, I'm speaking with business strategist and five-time certified coach, Marci Rossi, who's the author of an article in our latest issue, Trust, Why is it Intrinsic to Coaching? Her article is entitled The Trust Risk Connection, Why No One's Buying and What You Can Do About It. A little bit about Marci. She's a business strategist and, like I mentioned, a five-time certified coach. I'd like to know what that means because maybe some of us are as well. Uh, she helps new and growing coaches build a business they actually enjoy running. With a background in law and corporate, she's known for her ability to cut through the noise, simplify decisions, and create smart workflows to make business feel a whole lot lighter. I like that. I'm feeling lighter just saying it, Marci. She's also the creator of The Shortcut, a 12-week done-for-you setup and coaching program that helps coaches go from overwhelmed and stuck to smooth and scalable. And she's the host of her own podcast, Thrivers Ed. Marci, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks so much for having me, Gary. I'm excited.
And thank you for writing. So I get the trust, but what really inspired you to write at this time?
Honestly, so I find that a lot of times when we're so focused on being really good coaches, but the only way we can be coaches is if we have people that we can serve. So my whole mission is helping people get out there and make an impact by setting up the business operations in the back end. And there's just not a lot of education around that. We're kind of almost expected to be able to do this. Early on, I had a mentor tell me that really a good coach is 51% marketer, 49% coach, because again, you can't be a coach without clients. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to help is help people create sustainable businesses. And something that I see kind of happen over and over again is missing that trust, is wondering why people aren't booking or buying from me. And so this is a problem that, comes across my desk quite often and something that I think is actually easier to solve than some of the other ones.
Oh, well, so we can look forward to some tougher ones that you'll write about.
Oh, absolutely. I got all the problems. If you have any questions, please
All
reach
the
out to me.
problems.
But yeah,
All right.
it's an
Yeah.
education piece. It's not knowing what you don't know type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's great. So uh five-time certified coach. I don't want to drop the ball on that. What does that mean?
Yeah, so obviously they're not five ICF credentials. It is a
Right.
it's a certification program. Honestly, you caught me on my toes here. I'm like, what are those five? I'm trying to
Yeah.
think. It was like mindset coaching. One of them was actually hypnotherapy. I did that for a while. I'd have to think of what the other three things are. But to be
Yeah.
completely honest with you, what I have really moved into is more of a mentoring space than the traditional
Uh-huh.
ICF coaching,
Yeah.
because what a lot of what I'm doing is the done for you services. I'm actually setting up the things and then helping people pick out the strategy. So it's more of advice, which I know is it's not really aligned with that ICF type of coaching. So
Right. Hey,
it's really interesting how our careers kind of pivot as we go along. I don't know if you always set out to have a magazine, but it's just fun to watch where people end up along the road.
Well, in the thing, if you look at it, most coaches are doing something else. They're speakers, authors,
Yeah,
consultants, and coaches.
yeah, absolutely.
And it just shows the variety of life, right? So if you know, and to your point, you want to pass the ICF test, you have a coach a certain way and record that, but you will go and do what serves your clients best, right?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, that being said, I'm built an AI coach, Gary, and I'm currently in the throes of developing a marketing plan.
Okay.
And I wanted to share with you that I used your article. So I hope this is okay because I now realize maybe I should have asked. But I took your article and I took my copy for my webpage and I
Okay.
took it to ChatGPT and said, make sure that what Marcy is saying is inside. Like, am I covering the bases on the trust risk connection and
Yeah.
her tips and tricks? And oh my God, it was amazing. It came up with some really great ideas of rewording and changing in there to hopefully increase the level of trust for the reader of that or the viewer of that web page.
I'm obsessed with that. I haven't heard anybody doing this. I mean, I use AI all the time. I haven't had anybody say that they've kind of used my work to inform things, but I think that is absolutely it's brilliant. And honestly, I think we need to AI as a whole conversation. I don't want to go too far on a tangent, but just recognizing that if we're putting things out into the universe, it can be found, right? That article could be found from somewhere else. So I post on LinkedIn. It could be scraping LinkedIn and finding these things, but just recognizing how we can use these different tools to support our business. It doesn't mean we have to start from scratch. We have resources available to say, how can I actually make this better? So I think that's a fantastic way to use it. And I'm very flattered. Thank you.
Good. I was sitting here and I'm thinking, I never, oh my gosh. Okay, well, there you go. So, yes, brilliant. Well, and I would have probably apply that to emails I'm writing and things like that too. What's the trust level in this, right? Um, but I do have to ask, how do you know? Like you gave an example of I'm going to read this first part. So,
Sure.
a lot of our listeners may not have heard the article. But it begins like this. You've done your training and the work. Your coaching offer is solid. The emails are written. The page is live, and then nothing. No inquiries, no bookings, nothing. Just crickets. When this happens, most coaches spiral into analysis mode. Was the price too high? Do I need a better headline? Maybe I picked the wrong time to launch. Why do you think the category of observation and action is trust?
Well, I actually first want to preface this, which I couldn't really get into the article in order to keep it kind of relevant and tight, but we're assuming that someone is finding you, right? So if the only thing you've done is create a pretty website and then just sit there and wait for the phone to ring, trust isn't the problem. Visibility is the
Mhm.
problem. Outreach is the problem. You not marketing yourself is the problem. So this article assumes that you are doing something to get in front of new audiences. You're on social media, you're networking, you're running ads. I mean, there's a million things you could be doing, calling up friends and family, like whatever it looks like, you're doing something to put what it is that you do in front of eyeballs. Now, assuming that is fixed, then why aren't they buying? Now, sometimes some things are a little bit more obvious. Like if you're selling something for $1 million and it's vague and it just has a button to check out, then yeah, it's probably, I mean, trust is probably in there. Like, I don't trust that you're going to actually deliver something, but that's probably a piece of it. But really, trust underpins everything. The price is only too high if they don't trust that they're going to get the value back, right? So all of these pieces all kind of tie into trust. Again, assuming you're doing something to get visible. That's that 51% marketer piece.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, definitely. Visibility would also be a key factor. Maybe we could write an article about that too.
Oh, I
But
could all day. I mean, that's part of it, right? It's I have a whole feature on this. It's when we have these systems set up in place, then that's all we're worrying about. All we're worrying about is talking to new people because when they find us, we have the sales page or the website or whatever built to add in those trusts. We have ways to nurture them so they can get to know us, they can like us more, so they want more from us and want to work with us. So when you have the systems and processes in place, when you have that trust built on your website, it's just a matter of getting that website in front of the correct eyeballs.
right. Well, that's what I'm working on next. So I think I've done a good job with the website. Although my friends tell me I have to redo my headshots. So I'm working on an AI that, and everybody's giving me a different AI brand of stuff to use. So I'll figure it out and
I
get
have
that.
suggestions there as well. There is an AI
Okay.
photo of me somewhere on my website. See if you can find out which one it is. The rest are real. So, I mean, I haven't had anybody say anything, but yeah,
Yeah.
man, we live in a crazy time.
Oh, I know. I know. Video's the whole bit.
Yeah.
Um, how do I actually build more trust in my marketing once I get to the past the visibility part?
Yeah. So I'm not going to rehash every single thing from the article. I think I go into a lot of steps there, but being really specific is what makes you trust somebody? What makes you purchase from someone else? And really taking that step back and saying, why did I say yes to this offer? So that's a great place to start is the last thing that you purchased, especially something in a comparable price point. What made you say yes? A lot of times I will bring up to my clients something that they're not super comfortable with, and that is having some kind of risk reversal or happiness guarantee or something in it. The fear is, oh my gosh, someone's going to take me up on it. And honestly, if we really stand behind our products, I think we would offer some kind of guarantee or some kind of, maybe I don't like to trap people into working with me, especially in a personal service, to say, I'm going to sell you 12 sessions. And if we're not clicking after session 2 or 3 and they're trapped and forced to work with me, that's not a vibe that I want to have for my business. So early on, the first client that I signed, I had a line in my contract saying it was a 12-week package and she could cancel at any time and get her money prorated back. And guess what? She took me up on that at some point, but she also sent me more people because she had already had a transformation faster than I thought was possible. And she told me later that that's why she said yes. She said yes because I had in my contract a guarantee that at any point, it was a kind of risk reversal, but at any point she could cancel and get the rest of her money back. Like what we used type of thing. And that can be enough to start that ball. That doesn't mean it has to always be part of your packages forever, but what can you do to help someone who's thinking, I'm not sure this is going to work. I'm not sure this is right for me. Maybe it's the first call is free. Maybe it's after a certain number of packages, you can, cut it down and prorate the rest back, like whatever that looks like for you. But think about how many times you purchase something and would you actually buy it if they didn't have a return policy? I had Amazon
Right?
come to my door
Yeah.
today. It was a brand I had never heard of. It's long story short, but it's sleeves for my dog. We can get into that if you want, but I wouldn't have purchased it if there wasn't a return policy because I don't know, my dog, no dogs are shaped the same way and maybe it's not
Yeah.
comfortable and maybe the material's not there and I don't know until I get to work with it whether it's going to work for her and for me. So recognizing that if we want other people to offer these refund policies, these guarantees, these whatever, why would we not want to do that for our own customers? Like
Yeah.
if that makes us say yes, why would it make other people say yes to us as well?
Yeah, good point. How many times my my husband has looked up something on Facebook and ordered it and Facebook, not Amazon,
Mm.
Facebook, and it's been something that looks absolutely not like the picture and zero return policy. So now he's not allowed to buy off Facebook anymore. Okay, because I end up dealing with it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and think about how disappointed he is too when these things come. Like you wanted something and you're getting something that doesn't match those expectations.
Oh my.
Now, whose fault is that those expectations aren't there? Like part of it is us making sure that our sales pages, the way we talk about our offers or communicate what we do is clear, that people can expect what it is that we can actually deliver. We're not saying I'm going to change your entire life in 20 days, or unless you can, then more power to you. But, being very clear and specific about what they can expect because they're only going to want to stay with us, to refer us, to send other people our way if we can deliver on that expectation and ideally exceed those expectations. So making sure we're setting clear expectations, but giving people an out if it's just not a good fit, because that's not a great experience for you either as a coach. I don't know how
Oh.
many clients you've had where you're like, oh, this isn't the best. Like, oh, I don't want to get on this call. But like, if we have an out for both of us, then both of us end up happier and we can take on more of those clients where it is a really perfect connection.
You really speak to something I've known for a long time, and that at Choice, and because of me, one of our values is generosity. And
Mm,
we've always said, we don't give away issues for free. We never have in 23 and a half years, haven't given away because nobody values stuff that's so easy, right? Especially when you're at conferences, you're picking up all kinds of stuff, they put it in the bag. I know me, goes back to what do you do? I know me, I'll never look at it.
yep.
So when you actually apply a value to it, but I say, here's my guarantee. You know who I am because I'm usually at the booth. Buy a subscription, take this magazine with you. If you read it and absolutely don't like it, keep the issue, let me know, and I'll refund you fully.
Yeah.
And that's how we've operated for 23 and a half years. And we also prorate if somebody cancels in the middle of a subscription, we'll prorate the balance,
Yeah.
right? I don't know if enough people know that though, right? So perhaps that's an opportunity for us to put that further up in the selling chain, in the sales funnel.
Yeah.
I, and a reminder that not everybody listening does read the article. So I am going to rehash one because I think it's very
Go for
important.
it.
What you wrote here is the 5 fast trust check questions. Use these to assess where trust may be breaking down in your business. 1. Can a stranger quickly understand what I offer and who it's for? 2. Is there a clear social proof from real humans? Key on real. Careful with the AI. Can potential clients easily reach me with questions? Okay, so I have to stop on that one. The funniest thing, right from the beginning, I always put my phone number and a Skype, back in the day it was Skype, in my signature. And everybody was like, oh, no, 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 you don't want to do that because people were going to call you and all this. Marcy, I have really very few reports of people actually calling me. It's not a worry, but it's a trust builder. So it's there if you need it, right?
Yeah.
And all my emails, we always said all my emails come from me.
Yeah.
And so if somebody hits reply, they get me. Now,
Yeah.
do I sometimes redirect it to client care and other people on my team? Yeah, but I'm behind everything, as
Yeah.
has been forever. Do I give buyers a safety net like a guarantee, which we just
That's a good
spoke
one.
about? Is my messaging consistent, clear, and personal? If you say no to any of these, that's your next move. So for our listeners, if you hear something in there, pick one. Maybe there's an opportunity for you to take a look and to, change something, right?
Yeah, and I actually want to build one of those points is to what you kind of spoke before of I don't offer my magazine for free. And so when we're thinking about social proof, this is a question I get a lot is, but what if I don't have testimonials? What if I don't have case studies? And some people will advise while offering sessions for free, right? And it can be hard because people value things at the price that you set it. So if you're saying my time is worth $0, then why am I going to jump at it? It's something free I can get anytime. So instead, maybe you have, incentives where it's not something free, but it is a lower price than you would normally offer just to get people in the door, or it's an exchange of value. I've done services before where it's like, at the end of this, you're going to leave me a testimonial. I can't guarantee it's going to be a good one. I can do my best to, make sure that it's going to be good, but it's not free for them because they have to do work afterwards. They have to fill out a form kind of evaluating me. And of course, so far, so far, so good. But, that's a different way that you can kind of say that yes, if people aren't going to value that time for free, how can we make it so that they see that there is a true exchange here? Because honestly, if you have something that you're selling and you have no forms of social proof, no one has ever said anything nice about you, you have no evidence of ever helping anybody, honestly, how can I trust you at this point? The only way really you're going to get me to say yes at that point is if I'm bargaining on price. And I don't want to be someone who's like looking for the lowest price in something like this. This is too personal and vulnerable for me to just shop around for the best deal. So finding some way that you can develop that social proof. It can be a family member as long as these opinions are honest. And just to talk about this, I found this because I gave a whole speech on this a while back, but there's a website provider, Kajabi, that some people use. And in the template there, it has some default testimonials. Like they're placeholders just to give you some kind of text. And I took that exact text and I put it in parentheses and Googled it. And you would not believe the number of websites that show up using this placeholder testimonial
Oh,
word for word. And then I took the parentheses off to, just add a little variety. And some people would change that one of the words to say, like, this masterclass changed my life, this program changed my life, this course. And so they went a step beyond and actually changed
oh,
one or two words to make it look legit. Like, you know, everybody, you run your business how you want to run your
I
business, but
never would
like,
have thought of that.
no, if you want things to be sustainable, if you want to be a decent human being at the end of the day, make sure these are real testimonials, real world, real words from real people. Don't get AI to actually be very careful what AI is writing for you, but definitely make sure that the proof that you're offering there is real, true social proof because what goes around comes around, I believe, at the end of the
Yeah,
day. So,
no kidding, no kidding. Well, that's funny. I work a lot on coaching platforms like Ezra and Better Up, and
mhm.
have an opportunity for the client to give an assessment after each call. And I've been grabbing some of those and putting them in a document, and but you can't use the names.
I mean, I don't think that there's varying levels of trust that we can put through here, right? So the best would be a video of someone recording because that's the hardest thing to replicate, right? Yes, you can fake any of these things, but the hardest thing to replicate is a human face to video talking about how amazing Gary is.
Right.
If we can't get that, ideally we'd get a picture of that person and their name and, maybe what they do. If we can't get that, maybe
Right.
we can get initials. If we can't get that, even text, like we're offering some form of something there. Like at some point,
Mm.
we have to believe something. So if they're stopping and thinking that's not a real person, I think there are some other issues with that website as well. Maybe we're not nurturing them. Maybe there's something else scammy feeling about our website. But like innately, people would trust first, and then we give them reasons to doubt. So yes, in the hierarchy of things, a statement with no name, nothing, it's not the best, but it's still better than absolutely nothing at all, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, and when you read them, they read like somebody would have written it. And so I do put initials or like a first name and a last initial, something like that, right? So Yeah.
And I don't know what this looks like on your end, but what I've done is screenshot things like how are that thing's coming in and then blurring out the
Um,
name. So you can't see a name at all. You can see it's a screenshot where someone had typed it in. It's not just you on a Word doc, but it's blurred out so they can't see a name, a face, and nothing. It's completely vague. And in my in my contracts too, I'm a lawyer, so I have to mention these things. This is not legal. This is not legal advice. Don't take this legal advice. But in my contracts, I make sure that I have something where I'm allowed to use their testimonials confidentially. So I don't use their
right.
names on there unless they give me permission otherwise, but just covering my base to say, if you share feedback for me, you're giving me permission to use it publicly with, again, with some
Right.
anonymity there. I'll blur out your name so they don't know that it's you unless you're welcome to share. And my
Yeah.
clients generally are. So
Yeah. Oh, well, good to know. Yeah, I like that. Screenshots too.
screenshots are great.
Yeah. Yeah, because I can do that from places. Huh, interesting. Well, I think I have enough of those, so I'm happy. But so this is a double-sided question. How do
Sure.
you know if you've lost trust, and how do you rebuild it if you figured out you've lost it?
Yeah, it is a hard thing to know. I think if people are the easiest way to do this is if people are ghosting you. So if they're showing some kind of interest there and then they're not, maybe you didn't necessarily lose trust, but you didn't do enough to build enough to get that yes. And
Uh,
those to me are the same kind of thing. So losing trust is generally like you don't stand by your word. You do say something and do something else. Like that's kind of the angle we're going. But let's think more of like we were building trust and we either stop and plateaued or it just kind of fell off like that natural relationship. So, how do we know that we're there? First, there are those conversations initially, right? Either we can see that people are landing on my website, which hot tip, I'm obsessed with this tool called Hotjar, Hotjar, and you can install it on your website and you can see kind of what people are doing on your website anonymously. It'll say like
yeah.
someone in the United States with an iPhone. So like, okay, that's all of them. So you can kind of see what they're doing on your website, how far down they scroll, what they're clicking, what pages they're visiting. So if they're going through your page, they're scrolling up and down and they're leaving, they're never taking next steps, we don't have enough trust in there. We don't have a strong enough relationship in there. So
No.
that's kind of part of it. So again, making sure we are getting visible, we have people actually seeing our things, we're making conversations, we're starting to have those conversations. If they're falling off, that's where we have opportunities to investigate why. And honestly, sometimes we can just ask. We can
Yeah.
ask, hey, just out of curiosity, no pressure whatsoever, but I'm curious, was there anything I could have done to get you to say yes? Or was there anything that made you realize that this wasn't right for you? Like asking people for feedback and they'll happily give that to you. I've done that in my own offers. I've sold things and said, "Hey, you didn't buy. Can I ask why?" And the people that respond are always like, I don't know you well enough. It was a test I had done. I usually don't sell to people, right on my email list the second they subscribe. I nurture a bit. We start to get to know each other. And I did a test of selling to people that had just joined my list and they're like, I don't know who you are. I downloaded a freebie yesterday and now you're offering to sell me something. Like that's a big jump. So just reminding that part of that trust, it's not necessarily we lost it, we just didn't do enough work to build it. We
Yeah.
didn't nurture a relationship, and this is very personal. This is not a peanut butter sandwich. This is sharing your innermost thoughts and feelings and heart and soul really with somebody. That's a really personal relationship. So making sure that we're doing the work behind it to respect the kind of relationship we're hoping to have at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Putting the future in the present.
Yeah, absolutely. Love
Say.
that.
Yeah, awesome. Oh my goodness. I do before we're heading down the garden path here, but I do want to ask you, so what's this shortcut 12-week done for you setup and coaching program? Tell us a little bit about you and what your offering is.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. So basically, what I'm doing is I am taking care of all of the back end, the software, the automations, the workflows, the processes, all of the techie type of things, so that my clients can go out there and do what they're best at, which is making an impact. It's that all of the pieces behind that you actually get to be the coach. You don't have to only be 49% coach. You can be maybe 80 or 90% coach with a little bit of admin. Because again, I find that there's not a lot of education around what website builder do I choose? How do I set up a lead magnet so that it gets them on my email list? And how do I tag them? And how do I onboard them and have things delivered and automations and blah, blah, blah. And I'm
Oh,
obsessed with these
wow.
things. I love the tools.
Thank
If you have
goodness
questions
there's
about
people
tools,
like
that could
you.
be all, oh gosh, all day, every day. So that is my focus. I'm taking care of all of that tech piece so that my clients get to go do what it is that we started this with, which is get visible. go have conversations with people, go reach out, go tell people what it is that you do. We can't be the world's best kept secret if we want to have a sustainable business. And I'm saying business, but you can't help people if you're doing it for free. That's just not sustainable. I mean, some people can. Some people have the resources. Most of us have to get paid in order to keep working at the end of the day.
Yep.
So
Got bills.
that's the focus there. Yeah, that's the focus there. So me taking care of those pieces so you can have those conversations, and it's incredible what you're able to accomplish. So we do that with I call it coaching because that's what people are familiar with. It's really more of mentoring and advising because it's a lot of my own lived experience in building my own business that I'm able to help people transform. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's been really, really helpful. It's surprising the number of things that people are just not aware of. They're not as nerdy as I am, I guess. Not everybody wants to play with all of the tools, and
Well,
I
and
have the best time.
when you say all those things, and I know what you're talking about, it even feels overwhelming for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because let's face it, coaches want to coach.
Absolutely. And honestly, that's what they should be doing. But if you don't have these pieces behind,
Yeah.
you're not, it's not going to be effective. And it's a waste of your time, right? Like learning how to build your own website, figuring out all these brand colors, picking the perfect picture for your website and obsessing over it. Honestly, all you're doing at the end of the day is hiding. It
Yeah.
is an intentional, like it's a fear of
Distraction.
failure and it's perfectionism that's holding you back. And you can't serve if, again, no one knows you exist. So,
Yeah. Not the best kept secret. Exactly.
no.
Marcy, what would you like our audience to do as a result of the article, this conversation?
Yeah, I think they first should email you and ask you for that prompt that you used in order to get AI to fix your website based on my article, or send that to me. I love that. I think that's a really clever idea to say, here is some information. How can I improve this thing? But taking that step back first is if you're not having those conversations, then I want you to start having conversations with people. I want to make sure people are landing on your website or are talking to you or some way interacting with what it is that you offer so we can make sure that trust really is the problem. Because again, we can fix that with getting more specific, adding a guarantee, adding those testimonials, etc. But if we don't have people looking at it first, all of that again is wasted. It's a beautiful website that no one's seeing. So figuring out what your real problem is and taking the concrete steps to go fix it.
Brilliant advice. Thank you. What's the best way for people to reach you, find out more about working with you?
Yeah, head to my website, marcirossi.com. Just because we were talking about making sure people can ask questions, I have a little bot thing at the bottom, a little question mark thing, but it's not a bot, it's me. Like if you're chatting with me, I'm there. Like you were saying before, people are reaching you. It is not an automated response. And I think that's sadly rare these days to actually have a conversation with a human. So yeah, reach out to me on my website. I'm not on social media really. I'm on my website and would
Yeah.
love to chat with you.
Awesome. MarciRossi.com.
That's it.
Thank you so much for joining us for this Beyond the Page episode, Marcy.
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it.
That's it for this episode of Beyond the Page. For more episodes, subscribe via your favorite podcast app, probably the one that got you here in the first place. If you're not a subscriber to Choice Magazine, you can sign up for a free digital issue by scanning the QR code in the top right-hand corner of our screen if you're watching the video. If you're listening, go to choice-online.com and click the Sign Up Now button. I'm Gary Schleifer. Enjoy the journey of mastery.